What's up, Broncos country? Welcome into another edition of Bronco Talk, where we talk Denver Broncos football. In today's episode, we'll go over a couple of plays that speak to reasons why the Broncos offense is running inefficiently. In addition to that, I'll go over a couple of ways that I believe the Broncos can improve their efficiency and get a lot more out of this offense. And I will also preview the Week 3 matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Denver Broncos. So without further ado, let's talk Broncos. So first off, we're going to take a look at a couple of plays that just speak to the offensive inefficiency. And then we'll take a look at a play where Bo Nix has plenty of time to process what's going on with the defense. Because I truly believe that when the comments were made in the preseason about Bo Nix recognizing pressure and being able to get the offense in and out of looks that are necessary to be effective, that wasn't fluff. That wasn't just speaking highly of a rookie quarterback. It was true. But what we'll see in these plays is Bo Nix has less than 10 seconds from breaking the huddle to when the play clock's going to run out and we have to snap the ball. So you'll see in this first play that Bo Nix is right about 15 seconds and he's looking back at Sean Payton and just saying, come on, let's hurry it up. I need to get this play called so we can get to the line. And that's what's happening on a lot of play calls. The play calls are wordy. The play calls going from Sean Payton to Bo Nix, and then from Bo Nix to the offense is taking way too long. And I think that a lot of that is going to be hard to change because Sean Payton is going to be Sean Payton, and unless he can really reduce the amount of words that he's saying and really get the same idea and principles out of his offense, then it's really going to be a struggle. But what I think that can happen is that Sean Payton can be a step ahead. Because in the play that we saw, Bo Nix is asking him to hurry up the play call. But if you just look one play previous to that, you'll see we actually were able to get to the line and Bo Nix was able to call out some coverage, call out the mic. I'm not exactly certain what he was calling out, but he was able to get the offense in the right play, and we'll go from 2nd and 10 to 3rd and 1. So in back-to-back plays, you see the contrast of what it looks like when Bo Nix has plenty of time and what it looks like when Bo Nix is rushed to the line. What I'm speaking to the unnecessary growing pains that Bo Nix has to go through as being named the starting quarterback from week 1. If he went through the first season just sitting on the bench and learning the offense and really adapting and knowing the play calls and getting them in and out of the huddle quicker, then he'd have the ability to run the offense efficiently from the break of the huddle till the ball being snapped. He just doesn't have enough time because he hasn't been in this offense for over a year. And then we've got this play where Sean Payton isn't really playing ahead of schedule. He's calling plays as the game goes on rather than thinking ahead. So something I said in my post-game video of last week was I would have gone to a field goal attempt when we got to right about, I think it was 2 minutes and 48 seconds. And right here we'll see that we're just outside of, or just inside of 50 yards. I think it was like a 46-yard field goal. And in that 46-yard field goal, I wouldn't have attempted that. But we get a nice screen pass to Javonte. He takes it upfield, and now we're well within Will Lutz's range, and he can make a field goal. And now we have 2 clock stoppages. That's 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning. That gives us a lot more flexibility. If Sean Payton was going to kick it off and rely on our defense to get the ball back and go down and score a touchdown or a field goal, in this case because he was clearly playing for the touchdown when the game was going on, we would have needed the clock stoppages to make this happen. Well, what happened is that you'll see here, we make our last throw, the last play before a field goal at 2:01. It goes incomplete at 2:01 right here, and it's a pass to the out route by Greg Dulcich, and it falls incomplete. That means at 2:01 that wastes the 2-minute warning. We're going to kick the field goal, then kick it off, and the rest is history. We have to really, we probably should have onside kicked it. Now, the play I was alluding to in the first video that we showed is this one. And in this play, you'll see that Bo Nix has plenty of time breaking the huddle. He's able to make a read and make a throw. The irony of it is because that piggybacked a play where Garrett Bowles got a holding call. So consequently, that meant Sean Payton had more time to think about the play and get that to Bo. Bo was able to call the play and get out of the huddle. So if that just contrasts the next play, which is the one we talked about on 3rd and 1, where Bo Nix hands the ball off to Javonte, even though that wasn't the best play call. We weren't able to make a change on the line. There was obvious pressure coming, but Bo wasn't able to recognize it and make a shift in the line to get that play that we called on 3rd and 1 to work. It was a blown up play from the huddle, but we had already. So what I think that the Broncos can do to be more effective offensively is to commit to the run game. We hear that on a year in and year out basis that whoever the coach is going to commit to the run game, commit to the run game, commit to the run game. And then we get out there and we see 20 rushes, 23 rushes. And 5 of them last week were by Bo Nix. And I will give credit where credit's due. Bo Nix is a mobile quarterback, so he can definitely have some scheduled run plays, some called runs where he can quarterback draw or an RPO or just a rollout. And if he's got the edge, go and get a first down. But I don't think half of those plays where he ran were called run plays. So if you look at it, I'm talking about committing to the run, give Bo Nix a couple of called play action rollouts, maybe he takes a run, RP, give Bo Nix a chance to run quarterback draws and plays that are called for him to run. But in reality, I'm speaking to Javonte Williams, Jaleel McLaughlin, Tyler Beatty, Blake Watson, Audric Estime. Those are running backs to get 30 carries a game. Because if you just lull the defense to sleep, it's possible that you're going to be able to take a shot with Bo Nix. If you're running the ball, you're going to also have other options in the passing game. If they're stacking the box the way that they have been against Javonte, that's going to open up the flats to throw swing routes, to throw screen passes, to get this offense spread out so that the defense isn't applying as much pressure as it has been on the running game and a rookie quarterback. And it allows to slow the pass rush, get the linebackers playing east to west, and maybe we find some gaps in the zones and are able to beat man coverage over the top. Realistically, it all goes back to the run game because then you could roll play action and you're slowing down the defense. But if we're able to do those two things, if we're able to, for somehow, some way to get Sean Payton to shorten his play calls or get Sean Payton onto the next play quick enough to where he's able to get that in Bo Nix's headset with enough time for Bo to call that play, it could be a matter of, hey, we just need to, Sean Payton needs to be thinking, hey, 1st and 10, if it's 2nd and medium or 2nd and long, this is the play I'm going with. If it's 2nd and short, this is the play I'm going with. And that's how I've always viewed an offense to run so that you can be efficient. But it appears that we're making personnel changes, we're making play calls with 25 seconds, 50. It's way too late into the play clock to be doing personnel changes, whatever the actual time is when we're breaking huddle, which is typically around that 10-second mark. So if you could do that and rely on the run game, I think this offense will figure it out, and Bo Nix will be way more efficient in the passing game, closer to that 65-70% completion percentage. All that said, the Broncos travel to Tampa Bay this week in a back-to-back road trip, making 3 out of our first 4 games road games, which spells for a good stretch in the middle to late round of the season because that means that we'll have a couple of home games back-to-back. And the hope around Broncos country, around the staff, around the team is that this road trip, us staying East Coast and not going home and making 2 trips back and forth to the East Coast, is that there's going to be some sort of college dorm vibe where the team's going to really grow in camaraderie. And I think you could speak to London's game last year when we went to London and we really saw a lot of that camaraderie build. I do think that there's something to that. If we're able to squeak out a win today, which I'm always wanting Broncos country to have hope, even though you're not going to like my prediction. I think if we squeak out a win today and build on that win with camaraderie throughout the week, and then go into New York, I've already let you guys know I think that the Jets aren't as strong as they are on paper. Now, they did have a good game on Thursday night, but those are going to be a lot of in-between games. There's going to be games where they get hit in the mouth, and there's going to be games where Aaron Rodgers looks like MVP Aaron Rodgers. And that is what it is. I just don't know if just plugging in Aaron Rodgers into that specific team is going to get them the AFC East division, much less a conference championship representing the AFC in the Super Bowl or anything like that. I still have the Buffalo Bills representing the AFC East as the division winners. That being said, I do think that if we sneak out a win here, we could also go into New York and win there, which salvages the 2-2 start that I originally predicted. Not the same route I was going, but it is the start I did predict. I predicted a home win against Pittsburgh and a road win against the Jets. I saw Seattle as a hard place to play week 1, and I saw Tampa Bay a hard place to play for a rookie quarterback just against Todd Bowles' defense. We always struggle going East Coast, 10 a.m. games, so that's the context. So with all that said, my prediction for today is 24-13 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I certainly hope it's wrong, and I think that if we do those two things, rely heavily on the run game, get 30 rushes from people not named Bo Nix, I'll give a couple of rushes, 2 or 3 rushes designed runs for Bo Nix per game. But if we sit around that 25 to 30 rushes by people not named Bo Nix, and then we're able to get out of the huddle with more than 15 seconds on the clock, I think that Bo Nix can get to the line, make the checks, slide the line, get on the hot routes, audible out of something. Just whether he's not going to be out there checking to a different play, but he could kill a play and get us into a better run play or a different option that was already designed. And if that happens, I think that we can put up 20 points. And with our defense on the bench, due to us being more effective on offense, that will be more efficient for our defense, will allow us to hold the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a lower number. With all that said, if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to the content. It also helps me a lot if you comment on the video for the algorithm. Thanks, Broncos country, for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next vid.